Hello, good afternoon. Just to make sure I'm audible.
Yes, Professor. We'll be starting in 2 minutes.
No problem, no problem. Just also want to make sure that technology works. And I hope the camera works also. Yeah.
Yes, your video and audio is working.
Then I'll wait for your intro. Then I'll begin. Yeah. Thank you.
Very good afternoon, all of you present here. Today is the third day of the 5-day International Faculty Development Program, and today our speaker is Professor Lao Xian Lun. He received his both MSc and Doctorate in Engineering at University of Kassel, Germany, where he worked as a full-time research since 2004. He has contributed and managed various German national as well as EU-funded projects such as EU FP6, Mobilize, the IETA, S4 all, the BMBF matrix, and all. He joined Sunway University in the year 2013. He currently holds the role of Deputy Dean Internalization at the School of Engineering and Technology. He has published over 80 publications in conferences, workshops, book chapters, as well as journals. His research interests include environmental computing, sustainable smart city, context awareness, and applied machine learning. He is currently a senior member of Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers IEEE, as served as a vice chair of IEEE Computer Society Malaysia chapter from 23-24. So over to you, Dr. Lin Chuan. So please continue the
Yeah.
session.
Thank you for your kind introduction. Let me switch the talk. All right. Can you all see the screen? All right. Let me look at the chat also. Well, if you can see the presentation screen, maybe just put a thumbs up or smiley or something that I can see, then I know everything is working. Or probably type in the chat. Okay, I can see that. Very good. So thank you very much, and thanks again to SNU for the invitation. Very happy to speak online. I remember my visit to Calcutta and also SNU last year brought back good memories, and very happy to share about this topic, especially not just on Gen AI, but also I want to talk about how this can be useful and how all of us, including students, can work on this to help the small, medium enterprises. So for those who do not know me, I'm Xian Lun, and I'm from Sunway University. And I'm going to give a little bit more up-to-date introduction about myself. You probably already heard most of them, but currently I have already relinquished my admin roles, so I'm now focusing on the teaching job as a professor, so in doing research. And since last year, I've also appointed a young professor at the VIT Chennai, right? At the same time, you have heard that. And this is a little bit about my background. And for the talk today, I think this will be the kind of content And throughout the next 45 minutes or so, you are welcome to post any questions that you would like to ask in the chat, and I might also address them as you post, or maybe even towards the end, we can have a quick Q&A. Right, so let's dive into it. For those who probably may not have followed the whole series of the FDP, you may want to know what is Gen AI if you not already know about it, right? And again, something that is definitely very hot now is this term called agentic AI. So I think for those who are really new, right, it's really high time that you get to know a little bit more about this thing called Gen AI. Most people would know ChatGPT now, or even Gemini, and some who are more technical may even know things like cloud, and those with Microsoft will know Copilot, but that's only one segment of generative AI. We would define that Gen AI is a type of AI system that allow you to create new content. It could be text, it could be images, code, music, video. And that's what people are using Gen AI since probably 2 to 3 years. We are probably very familiar with text-based generation and also images. Some of us who are doing coding, we may even use it like, GitHub Copilot or Cloud Code, Gemini to write code for us. Lecturers probably know because students started using it for their programming assignments. Let's put those to discussion later. And people use it to generate audio, video, and so on, right? So that is what we know about generative AI. And for those who are new, or those who heard a lot about it and start saying like, oh, Gen AI is not good because it hallucinates and so on, or even you use it to replace Google and saying, oh, it's not accurate. Don't forget the keyword here, generative. Don't forget Gen AI is not AI that gives you facts and truth, right? It can also generate pseudo truth. That means things that are seemingly real or correct, but actually they are wrong because its ability is to generate, right, content without verifying whether it's really real or not. And that's where when we use it, do always have this responsibility to fact check so that you know what AI generated is, let's say, reliable, trustable, then you're presenting things really useful. And if we move to the next thing, to define what is agentic AI, think about AI systems that people have built that can autonomously plan, reason, even take action if you want to. So the closest you can look at the real world is a assistant that you have, a personal assistant or research assistant that can receive instruction and now work on its own, to carry out the task. So very interesting, very powerful, and something we should really explore because being able to test and use AI agents that can work independently and even adapt, understand what's happening to now carry out work while you continue other things, or even when you rest, is the kind of work we are expecting AI to do for us from now and in the future. And you're looking at AI that can do things that is very focused on the goals you set. And of course, be careful if you do not give the instruction correctly. It may actually understand your intention wrongly. The AI agents is able to work with external tools, APIs on your behalf. So imagine if you connect this to your Google Calendar, if you connect it to your, Office tools, or even what I've been testing lately, if I connect it to my desktop, it can actually start populating, reorganizing my content, my files, or understand, process them. So imagine if I have a local folder, I say, please read through all the PDFs files for me and make summaries of all the homework that students have provided, all these are possible. And combining with the power of AI being able to reason or even adapt, that's where you can now imagine it's not just a passive, reactive AI function that you need to prompt and talk to, but you can even give instruction, and now the agent will try to understand, the instruction, the prompt you're given, and start working just like a human assistant. And I think it's definitely a good time now to pay attention to agentic AI and see how it can change the way we work or even enhance work that need to be done for human typically. So some key differences, if you are not sure about their differences, you probably want to look at this table here. For example, in terms of the primary function, you will see AI, Gen AI is where you use to create content, right, of any types I've mentioned earlier, while agentic AI or AI agents, you can create content, but you actually want it to work in a more autonomous way to connect the different dots and carry out the task you would like to ask it to do. And that's no longer limited to content creation, right? It can be even content organization. It can be planning, right? A certain, job they need to do. So the interaction, right, is also a big difference. You have Gen AI chatbots that you can talk to and it will respond to your prompt to give you the answer you want, while AI agents will pursue goals that you have set and can work independently. The context that you provide to Gen AI are often limited and also limited to the context window that you can provide. Still powerful, right? And even the new chat, Gen AI chatbot I've tested can actually remember more about me, about what I do. Even I shift from chat to chat. So that limited context is also changing as we are talking now. But agentic AI will have this persistent that it must actually remain, the knowledge about what you do and what you want to do, so that this agent, just like a person, will remember what happened in the past, what to do next, and continue. So it is getting closer to a human agent that we do know. And Gen AI itself has some kind of minimal access to tools. It's good by design, but when you're using an AI agent, you probably expect it to have ability and also the extensive permission, right, to access to different APIs to your software, the tools you use, or even, like I said, on your personal computer itself. Yeah. So imagine again like an assistant. And lots of decisions you see now with Gen AI is always single step. You can keep improving and adding new prompts step by step, right, to carry out your work. While with the agent, you probably want to plan first and submit your plan so that the agent will start going through the plan, get feedback, confirmation from you, and then carry out the whole plan one by one. So some of the examples, if you want to take note, ChatGPT, DALL-E, and so on, I've mentioned earlier. While agentic AI, you can look at Cloud Cowork, that's the latest cloud agent, and Devin, and so on. So kind of a side note, you can think about Gen AI as a creative brain thinking for you, while you have a agentic AI that is this assistant, autonomous worker that will go out and use the brain, right, in the back end, but carry out the work for you. So the evolution of AI, if for those who want to know how the whole thing has become, actually didn't start just in the last 5-10 years. As much as 70 over years ago, in 1950s, that's where people coined the term AI, and this team started with the AI group that actually said, what can we do? And you can see there's all kinds of effort trying to build what is AI, from simple things like neural network, like machine learning, statistical approaches, all the way until 90s, where people start thinking how you can build applications. And we start seeing examples that people remember, like Deep Blue, playing chess and beating human. And in 2012 is where the deep learning that exists then, and also, with things that we have like the ImageNet and so on, we start seeing, wow, AI can actually do things quite close to human. Now it can understand images more accurately and so on. And that fast forwarded to what we see in the last 5-10 years, where you have the transformer architecture, you have GPT, right, being released. And I think what really bring everyone's attention to AI today really started in November, if I remember correctly, November 2022, where now everyone can have an account in ChatGPT. And I think that's where it goes mainstream. And for those interested here, what makes the difference between 2022 onwards and before? Actually, AI research has never stopped. But you may want to take note that before 2022, AI is very much restricted to those who have the resources, those who are in R&D company with a lot of resources, then only they can have a taste of what AI can do. But 2022, with ChatGPT and later more tools are being released, right? Due to the competition, I would put it that way. Um, you and I, anyone, can actually register an account and have a taste of what AI can do. So today, people already can sign up to all these AI tools and have AI to help you. I think today, quite a lot of my students, friends that I see, they even now treat ChatGPT, or other AI chatbot as their new search engine, right? And I think 2 years ago, or even last year, is where AI agents appear, where people start experimenting with it. And I believe today, even if you don't notice, some services are already using AI agent to work for you. And I think this will become even more ubiquitous, that people will be using it more and more from last year and this year onwards. So I think today maybe we want to see how the whole thing has really kind of snowballed right into what we have. It really started where you have this concept, right, from Google, if not mistaken, right, where you talk about also researchers suggesting this thing called attention is all you need. For the researchers among us, maybe you want to look up this paper, right, that suggests how the self-attention mechanism allow models to understand context no longer just by looking at the words, but even the whole sequence, and that brings out similar understanding like how human understand things. You see what makes a difference between human and, let's say, AI system before, the whole kind of, evolution, if you want to put it that way, since ChatGPT is AI used to be very mechanical and doesn't look so smart because it doesn't really understand what we are asking or, asking it to understand. But today, AI can actually understand us as if like they know the whole contextual, meaning behind what we ask. And that has a lot to do with this single attention mechanism. And the infrastructure that allow us to do processing also now allow parallel processing. That means you don't have to wait for token to be processed one after the other. When you can process them parallelly, means you can actually train faster, and eventually this allow us to have stronger, better models that can also serve the different usage in, let's say, more efficiently, right? Efficiently as in speed and all this doesn't mean energy efficient, right? That's something we should look into. But faster training, faster model means you can use it in close to real time, and that makes it more usable or useful. And the scalability with the hardware and also, the models also allow us to put in more parameters, more data, and we are able to process it better. So I think today we are looking at, these kind of numbers that I managed to find. 1.8 billion, monthly visit to ChatGPT, which is very high. The market size estimated to be 200 billion or more, and companies who are using or exploring AI is now at 70 plus, and I believe slowly we will reach 100% usage. And I think if you look at last year to this year, multimodal AI is definitely something people are using now. It's not just only text or only image. People are combining them to allow different use cases, right? To fully maximize what AI can do for us. AI agent that if you are using it, you can see it will go into the web browser, you write code, it can actually take complex tasks and start working in the background and present you. If you have never tried, you should really try this. I actually asked AI to look at some of my spreadsheets and say, can you build a dashboard for me? And it's really within minutes, I get a whole project done that I can then, unzip it, run it using Python, and my dashboard is up. And 90% good, right? There are certain things I would like to change. I added my prompt, and they recompile the whole thing. And the next 10 minutes, I have actually the software that I want to use. It's a straightforward one, but if I'm going to do it myself, I think I probably need at least a day or two, right? Not such a good programmer, but AI agent just finished the whole thing probably within 10 minutes, if including my planning, my prompt, and my testing and iterative improvement. It's really 10, 20 minutes. I get my software done that I can focus on my work while not focusing on searching for codes that I can put together to write the same software. And you can see enterprises, they are now using this. They're no longer experimenting, but they are really moving to production that people can use it. And of course, the open source models that probably look more inferior at the beginning, they're getting better. I think in a project that we are using Mistral and all this, they're actually not so far behind the commercial models that we can use. So it's an enormous opportunity for all of us to look at how we can use it for production or even to solve new problems. And let's look at the impact to our daily lives, right? How AI is changing all these things. I think using writing, we can really help businesses to create content, right, with less time needed to produce it. I now use a tool that I can actually speak and it will write what I have spoken and even correct it on the fly so that I can actually write faster. So I just need to speak and AI will try to turn them into text according to how I normally write. And, that speed up productivity. Um, the designing, I think you have Canva, you have different tools that allow you to do graphic design, right? Very quick. And even videos can be generated. I was looking at some YouTube video that even the YouTuber declare is a digital avatar, means the whole person speaking to me in 10 minutes explain something is actually digitally created. I think more and more people will be using AI to create content, and this is quite different from students writing assignment. I don't see writing assignments as content creation. Happy to see your view about this. But if you are writing things you already know, or you give the content and for AI to now use it to generate the end product that you want, this is productivity if you can use AI to speed up your work, right? And today, certain things still look mechanical or robotic, but I think very soon it will look more natural than we can imagine. And that is the near future we're looking at. And I think in other areas, that I would like to give you as an example, even in healthcare, you can see in diagnosis, in drug discovery, or even in operation, AI will be there. For example, to do, diabetic detection, or in order to go through the protein structure, how you can find drugs that you can help people to come up with the more likely structure that can be used for, let's say, testing, right? Then lead to new drugs that you can use to heal, people. The chances, the time, right, to find the right one is going to be cut short so that we can find all these, let's say, drugs that can help people faster. And documentation, understanding of documentation, reducing redundancy, all these things are not just digitization today, it's also using AI to make it more optimized. So you can see we are not doing this to replace doctors, but doctors and the administrative staff that uses AI can actually work faster. And those who do not know how to use this, can't follow, they are the one that may be replaced. And in education, some of us are from higher education. You can see learning itself with AI will help us to understand our students' needs better. I've tried to use this to analyze students' assignment and also their marks. And I can say the analysis it can do will be things I probably will take weeks, to come to those conclusions. And when I verify, and I think they tell me better about what my student is doing a lot faster. And you can see if we build into a workflow, we can give feedback to our students faster, that they can learn better. And I have more time to work with my students if they need now personal assistant. Anything else, AI can already help me to attend to the student. And now I have time for those who really need my help that AI can help them. So you can see this thing can really change. And I think we can really explore how it helps us, not replace us, right, to do our job better as an educator. And I think if you have people in retail and so on, you have customer service, you can also see users are now more used to chatbot, and chatbot is getting smarter, that they like, talking to it, that is almost like a human. And when you have deployed it, right, the availability is there. You don't have to pay more. You just pay for the tokens, right, that the services are charging you. And I think the support cost as opposed to human, right, this is where you can see the cost saving for the companies will be there. So these are some real world examples. You can see, the companies are already using AI to help them to attend to their customer, in return get better customer satisfaction and better services. So I think, what can we do, right, in our daily routine? You can imagine in the morning, you have AI telling you what you should read. Gmail may write messages for you automatically and get your confirmation without sending out. In your work, you have integrated where it's no longer just individual software, right, that work separately, but they are all interconnected, and AI can give you suggestions how you do it. I particularly like meeting transcription. I use AI note taker, right, to help me to take note of my meetings and also make summaries and even give us the action points, right, for me and my students or my colleagues to act on immediately because they are already summarized. No one need to spend time taking notes and, drafting minutes anymore. Yep. And you can do, commute and all these things using smart traffic analysis and so on. And even evening, you get recommendation what you should do. I think that will be that kind of life, not impossible to imagine today. So let's go into the second half of what I've prepared, because I very much look into what will this mean, and I can see big companies are going to use AI and they will win the competition. But I always believe in many countries, SME are still a very large group that usually they are threatened, right, by missing out, right, using all this latest technology. And therefore, let's look into how AI implementation, agentic AI, can really help small, medium enterprises. So I think why they should act now, because many of them do recognize that AI is essential for them. And also we can see those SME who already use AI, they have a productivity boost. And the competition, right? If you're going to talk to any of them, you can tell them the larger competitors with more resources, they are definitely already using AI at scale. That's how they can maximize, right, their operation advantage and also gaining the competition. And the customer expectation, if they are used to company who provide these services, they definitely would expect the SMEs to also catch up. And that's the challenge. If you, as an SME, do not catch up in using AI, right, and using agentic AI to also be part of their business operation, people will feel you are no longer meeting their expectation, and they'll move to companies that offer such experience. And that's why whoever that can embark on this journey faster, they definitely get more advantage over time. And if SME say the cost of AI is high, I believe actually today it is not as expensive as you think, as long as you get the right people to help you to transform. And again, I think the cost will continue to drop as how we see more tools are being made available to everyone. So I think some of the quick wins, if you are talking to an SME today, or if you are one yourself, you can see for customer services, there are already services like Interconfin or Zendesk that can help you to deal with the queries, because it's no longer about answering questions passively. It will also look at the questions being posted and know how to resolve, some of these queries automatically, efficiently for you. All right. Content creation, I think many of the content creators, YouTubers, and so on, they are already using AI to automate their process, right? Instead of doing everything manually, they can now create content once and allow AI to make it ready for all kinds of platform. That's how they reach out, right, to bigger market. And they can even actually use AI to make sure for every single platform, things are adapted accordingly to reach that efficiency. for emails, you want to have personalization and so on, there are already tools for you to do it. And even back to accounting, you can use all these AI tools to help you to understand your content, to give you insights. That's very important. And here, the amount may look like a lot, but if you're looking at the ability to scale your business and win your customer, you probably can cover this cost quite easily when you have the right, customer stay with you. And a pro tip, if you want to say, how do I start? Don't buy everything one shot. Start with one that can help you to get the most return of, value. Master it, and then only move to the second one. Don't implement everything because one shot is probably too much, but start with one that gives you impact, that can help your business to move fast. I think that's a good one to begin with. So some success story that I may want to share here, you can look at a bakery. When you look at the SME adoption case study, they use ChatGPT for social media caption. That's very useful to draft email newsletter. They use Canva for their graphics. They use actually AI to check their inventory, and they spend not more than $100 per month. But that gives them the advantage that they spend 60% less time on marketing. They actually have increase, of orders due to their, efficiency in their marketing. And they also have better inventory prediction, means they can reduce their food waste. And I think for a small bakery, right, all these are big money that they are saving. And this is, some actually good use case that you can look at. And there are quite a lot there. Use your favorite chat, Gen AI chatbot, to look for examples and go to those case studies, and you're going to learn and see how you can also use it to help your local SMEs to achieve this. So I think how to reach out and help them to embark on this journey, I think you can definitely have assessment and plan. You can run a small pilot with a small tool, understanding their needs, make sure, they can use it and start experiencing what benefit they can get before you move to phase 3, where you can say, shall we not expand, right? Refine the workflow once you are better with it. And very important, when you have finished the third phase and can see the results, you can now start optimizing. Always measure whether the investment you have is bringing more benefits, right? Not just in terms of money, but also the optimization of your resources, right? And how you can then go into more advanced use case. You see the bottom line here, when you look at this suggestion, it's never about technology. You can see this is what I usually tell SME. The key to your success is actually a transformation plan. It's actually more about change management than actually learning about technology. At the end, tools are just tools. But if you have a plan, right, knowing how to adapt, knowing how to integrate the changes that can help your business to go better, that's where a proper change management plan and the transformation plan will really reduce, right, wastage and also risk of getting the wrong technology integrated. And that's how you can see the benefit. And once you get better, you can now slowly expand. All right. So I think some challenges that people may say is you don't have the budget, and I can tell you many of these tools. I was doing some pilot testing, and actually the cost we are paying is less than $50 per month, exactly as what we see here. And for a startup, trying to even pitch the idea, spending a little bit money is something we need to do, but it will not cost us thousands, or tens of thousands just to try out things. So today, before you scale, you can already start using some of these AI tools, charged by tokens or charged by like cloud services, charged by the hours that you have the services up. You can really afford testing and even pilot run. If you talk about teams lacking tech skills, I think many of these tools are no longer requiring you to do coding. There are interfaces that you can actually just use, and there are also quite a lot of tools that allows you to do integration, right? And there are also good companies, or even a good suggestion is work with universities, right? Have students as interns or even as a consultant that can help companies to try out and learn how they can adapt or adopt AI tools. And if you are worried about data security, many of these services worry more than you, right? They will have to make sure what they do will actually meet this enterprise grade security or data privacy. And there are definitely these kind of things that you need to look into the fine print, whether they will take your data that you put into the AI system and use it for future. And those things you have to be careful. But if the terms and conditions state clearly that they will not keep copies of your work, or even sometimes you can run a local, models and so on. I think these are ways you can deal with data security or data privacy. And finally, if AI will replace the job, I think no matter we are worried or not, it will replace what it should replace and can replace. Today, more importantly, can we learn the right skills that we can use AI so that we will not be replaced? I think let's focus on the high value tasks where then AI will take care of the mundane and routine work. All right, so I think I will not go so much into the ROI. I think that part you can look at it yourself. And I would like to bring to this part where can students help this? I believe yes. If there are students among us, right, or if you are educated, they do with students, I think this is where we can encourage our students to contribute. I think the today, right, the students we have today, they will be the AI researchers, they will be the entrepreneurs, and they will also be policymakers of tomorrow. That's why we have to give them the right perspectives, right? Telling them how they do not need to worry about the future and learn the right skills that they can be the one that would decide how the future should be. These are also the group of digital natives that are so familiar, right? Comfortable using digital technology. And that's where we need to remind them about their roles and also what impact they may bring to society when they learn the right skill or even if they don't learn the right thing. And many of us will bring in the different backgrounds that also will help AI to be more complete or better because AI is definitely not just a technological thing. It is also a kind of, service that encompasses people and needs from different backgrounds. So interdisciplinary understanding is very important. And of course, I think we want people who can, experiment, can try, and students actually can do that very well. And as students, you can fail and still not face any consequences. Okay, not fail your study, but fail in your experiment because you learn a lot by making mistakes. So how to do that? I can give among us here, if you are a student, of course, if you are from CS degree, ignore the last line there, but there are so many things we can actually learn online today. You can go to Coursera, you can go to, use ChatGPT to experiment, and you already have a hang of it before you move into, the intermediate time where you take up courses, you go to Kaggle and join competitions where you then going to practice machine learning, data analysis, or even the simple, right, basics. But when you are happy with what you achieve after a year, I think that's where you can go into advanced, where you learn about the advanced topics. And there are already free lectures like from Stanford, from MIT that you can take up. You can read research papers, and you can also contribute to open source projects. And that's where you will now develop models. And actually, if you can contribute to your professors' projects and so on, or even working with SMEs, just working, doing R&D, right? In order to solve their problems, you are already applying the knowledge. And that's how the learning path can allow you to do it. So how you can start, I always say, find a project, find a problem to solve, then you have that motivation to keep pushing until the solution is out. And today, me working with my students, I found it's a lot easier to do all these things because even if you are not sure how to do it, AI can already give you a good head start by giving you some basic frameworks or code that you can now continue to work on it. And this is where it makes a difference when you have already learned the skills and the basics. What AI generated will not replace you because you know where exactly to expand, to extend, instead of taking a code that you actually have no idea what it's talking about. But if you say that is exactly where I am, whatever AI generated, actually I have no idea what it is, you do reverse engineering. You can look at the code and go backward to understand what it has generated. You can even ask AI, what does this code mean? So that you now can learn code even more, efficiently, faster than before. For some of you in undergraduate, especially going towards your, third year or final year, go into research project. volunteer as research assistant, or contribute to open source AI project. That's where you learn a lot by going hands-on. Join competitions, number 3. That's where you can practice. You can create content. The more you write about it, you share, make YouTube videos, you are already processing it in your brain as you talk about it. And I always believe when you share, when you talk to people, when you practice, your brain is learning and relearning good content. And that helps you to also deepen your understanding. And of course, finally, if you already done the first 4 steps, definitely join discussion, debates, go into different committees where you can then advocate how to use AI correctly and use it responsibly. I think that's how you train yourself to be that future person that can contribute and make sure AI don't go the wrong way. And I think these are some free resources, right? Maybe you'll take a quick screenshot and see, and you can find them, on Google or online easily yourself also. Okay, so let's look at how the benefits, countries may receive, right, if they adopt. I can see I have another kind of 15 minutes, so I'll go a bit faster here. It's not about money, even though I'm talking about money, but looking at what AI can do, it will create a contribution to economy. And I think that's very important. And the good thing is the access to AI until something like, tariff and all these things that may block it. That's the risk we have. But AI is probably one of the most democratized tool that can allow anyone, right, to move forward faster than ever. 10, 20 years ago, internet is doing that. And today with AI, I think it will even help more people who understand this to move forward very fast. You can already gain from productivity improvement, let alone if you can use those products and you can use to produce products that can help customer to get what they want faster and better. So if you look at SME and AI, if they can do that, that will really help countries to have national growth, because many countries, many economies, you have 90% SMEs, and many of them could be struggling today if they don't embark on this technology. And they even actually contribute to employability, employments, right? In many countries, the GDP are contributed by the SMEs. So therefore, we really need to look at companies, not countries that really want to move forward with their SMEs. Really, we have to help them to adopt and to use AI efficiently. And you can see some of the effects that I've listed here that I think it will really impact those who are ready, and we definitely need to help them to see the benefits. So what are countries that really has set all these strategies? You can see examples like, Singapore, how they really prepare the country with their AI strategy, the investment, and how they work with universities. They make AI mandatory in schools. Estonia, being one of the most digital country, you can see how AI powered their government services. They have all these programs that really encourage digital AI startups to come and help to build the country and beyond. And UAE, not forgetting, already have people like, Minister of AI, how AI is used in government, and lots of things happening in Middle East that we really need to also learn and work with them. So I think the jobs is the real picture that we are looking at. How many jobs will be displaced because of AI? We definitely see there will be, right? And these are things we cannot run away. But AI-enabled roles will also be created at the same time. And, we can look at the jobs report, but it doesn't look that gloomy at all, right? The part that is gloomy is if you still reject and do not want to use AI or can't catch up, then that's the part we probably have to worry a little bit. But with all the assistance and accessibility to the learning that you can do online, even free, actually it's more about whether you want to do it or maybe you choose not to do it. And that's probably something for you to decide. So what are the kind of things we can do? I think there are certain things we can actually advocate. There are education policies that we can really push where AI literacy should be introduced to our students. Primary school, if not late primary school or high school, university should really, push for AI courses. Like at my university here, we already make it compulsory. every student will have to take a common subject that is a fundamental and foundation to AI. Means we want to make sure every student that graduates from somewhere university should be AI literate, should know what AI can do for them, and should be familiar of using AI to do their work. These are kind of strategy we have planned so that our students are future ready. Okay, and from infrastructure-wise, countries should really set blueprints and policies that make sure there are enough AI compute resources that can cater for the needs of the country. The broadband, the internet penetration should be continue to be pushed so that more people have access to internet. Data centers and all these are really important. Funding should be there so that startup, especially AI startup, should be supported. R&D, should be encouraged not only at the university but also for startups and companies so that both industry and research can come together to advance research for AI. And of course, back to what I put as emphasis for this presentation, the SMEs should be supported. There should be funding for them to adopt AI, to use AI to improve their, competitiveness and also help them to improve their income. And of course, AI innovation hubs should be also important. And we should also set regulations that there will be governance, there will be protection, there will be sandboxes where AI can be experimented safely, responsibly before they go into the market. And with all these things, we can see countries that act decisively and also do the right thing will be able to lead the AI economy for the years to come. So I would like to end this talk with a call of action. What can you and I do after today? I think we all know Gen AI is something that creates content, and agentic is the agent that can do autonomous action, and it is transforming industries today. And AI is already part of our life, whether you know it or not. And we can see more industry are embracing using it, and to the extent that we may not even notice it's already AI doing the work there. And I would like to really emphasize SMEs that adopt AI today will be able to gain the advantage. If they can start small today, they can measure ROI, they can scale, according to their growth. And to help this, we have definitely our young generation, the students that can actually learn today through projects, research, and later also contribute to them and even advocate them. And I can also say, as a conclusion, countries that willing to invest in AI and SME will actually lead the global economy, not just the big boys, but also the SMEs. And I think today, if you say, what should I do, right? If this talk speaks to you, already start using AI tools, use for real tasks without cheating, right? Do it, use it as a help, not use it as a replacement, and slowly take up at least some of these AI courses, learn about them, and maybe in the next 3 months, you can already build the first AI project for yourself or your friends, or even for your classmates or institution. 6 months, you probably may have already a skill that you can join competition or contribute to open source projects where this will slowly help you within a year's time that you have a portfolio of AI project that you have contributed to. And you may also be one of the active member in your local or even international community where you can then slowly move into a leader that can also make changes. So some resources, if you're interested, you may look at it, right? These are places you can find free courses. You can look at communities, right? You can also look at tools that you can use or even try today. And of course, look at some of these, resources where you can learn about the latest technology that you can also then follow them and, keep yourself up to date. So as a closing, I would like to close with this statement. The future of AI is being written by those who show up today, right? And those who show up to do it. So are you the spectator who just watch and do nothing, or you're a participant that will take action? So I hope you can start your AI journey today if you have not started. And among us who have started, thank you for doing this. And let's do it with responsibility, obeying to the ethical part of it so that it will really help the community that we aim to use AI for them. Before I close this talk, I want to tell you this presentation is co-generated with Gen AI Agentic AI. So quite a lot of them. So I hope that doesn't disappoint you, but definitely I have vetted the whole thing myself, so that at least to my best effort and knowledge is as accurate as I can verify. Maybe there's some mistake here and there, so sorry for that. Do let me know, right? But thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any questions, I welcome them. And these are also ways you can contact me, my email, and also, my LinkedIn and even Facebook. So happy to be connected to you. All right, that's all, and hand the time back to the MC. Thank you. Yep, if there's any question, I welcome them in the meeting chat, right? We have probably another 5 minutes if you have any questions to ask. If not, then I'll hand the time back to the organizer. Thank you.
There are some of the questions in the chat box. Sir, if you can see,
I
it
didn't
is
see any
fine.
of them, so
I'm
how
just
should
reading
I?
out for you.
Okay.
How does AI adoption in SME
Mhm.
influence productivity and profitability as a national or international level?
Yeah, you see, if SME do not adopt many of their work, since the budget and all these are different, I assume many of the work will be more manual and repetitive, and they also do not have that many people that they can afford to carry out all this work, let alone the efficiency of it. So imagine if SME now have lots of customers' requests to process, and they are still processing them manually. Like I talked to a company, they are still actually transferring data from PDFs to their database manually, right?
Thank
The
you,
real
sir. There is
situation.
another question.
Yeah, and AI can actually
To
do that
what
automatically
extent,
for them. Yeah.
yeah, to what extent does AI-driven cost optimization in SME contribute in change of the skill requirement?
What do you mean by this? Just get it correctly.
Yes, sir. I'm just reading out it once again.
Or maybe can you
So,
paste in the chat and then I can look at it?
yeah. I'm just copying from my chat and I'm sending it to you.
Yeah, you can send it to the chat box because I'm looking at it. And I hope I have the answer. If not, I'll ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. I have just copied it from my
Okay,
chat
to what
box.
extent? Oh, imagine if you don't spend all the time in my example in
Yes.
copying,
Am
right?
I audible?
The document. Yeah. Am I
Yeah,
audible? I
sure.
hope so. Yeah. So imagine you don't now do things manually and you have AI speeding up. You have more time to deal with the people, right? Um, I'm not in favor of therefore you fire everyone and use only AI because I think that doesn't help. What I want to see is when you use AI, you don't need to use human to do the repetitive job, but that's how you can now cope with more customer, right? You can actually expand your business without hiring more people at a certain point. And even if you hire more people, you're not worried that this expansion you can't cope because you have also AI optimizing some of your workflow. So back to what I said earlier, imagine you have to process documents manually every day. Human will get tired and so on. But now you have AI transcribing, right, the data into your database. So human actually do some checking, even checking that is, let's say, detected by AI, so that now you can call up your customer and make sure all these problems can be solved. So you go back to your customer faster than earlier. If you do one by one manually, you probably go back to your customer slower. I think that's where you can see you have optimized your workflow and you can deal with more customer, while in the past, her customer cost that much of time. Don't forget, time is where you pay your employees, right? So you actually now pay the same thing, but you can deal with more customer. That's where you optimize your costs. And I don't think the person do more work, but the person will also feel they are more efficient, and therefore they should actually feel, they are progressing better than earlier that you have do lots of manual, mundane job. All right. The next question: how government policies can support? Oh yes, I think government can at least look at the needs and give out the right incentives for companies, like for example, SMEs that can actually demonstrate how they have used, let's say, government recognized AI tools, right? Like maybe there are startups or even companies who gives, discounts. And that's where, SME can embark. Then they can also maybe get some incentive from the government to demonstrate they are already using it. As at the beginning to encourage people to adopt AI, I think that's good. And when the company has already seen the benefit and also make more profit than previously, that seed funding, right, through the incentive could already push, the company to be independent once they have already adopted AI. Similarly, government should really work out how different companies, like in Malaysia, I know there are definitely policies to get good AI startup to match them to SMEs that can work with them so that SME get the adoption, the AI startup also get their customers, and government actually do the matchmaking, or government agency is doing that. And I think these are few ways only through government top down and set some of these project or programs that now SME can actually apply. The rest is really about advocacy that they need to send these policies and all this, to the right people that they can then, because another problem that we can't solve today, I joined some of these discussions, is SNC, I still do not know there are all these programs there because people don't tell me. So getting the news out is important. And that's where maybe associations, even let's say local council should really reach out and tell people, okay? Question from Sadip, right? How SME can manage competition when everyone is using? I think using it not going to create competition, but because SME doesn't mean their product is Gen AI, right? Their products can be the food that you purchase, and so on. So I think it is probably back to the type of product. If your product is generate the content you generate, I think then of course everything may look the same, right? If you use the same thing. I'm looking at, if you are in, production of let's say, products that you buy from shops and so on, there are many things in your back end operation that AI can already help you to understand your products, right? To understand what's happening, to give you suggestion. So I think unless you have some clear example of what kind of competition that I can comment on it, but if not, I would say the focus area for the question from Sadip is SME should see what are jobs that are repetitive and mundane and how AI can already improve your workflow, that you get things done faster, right? That you get the information that will usually take days or months, that you can get them now within a day, that helps you to make better decision. That is where AI is already helping you. You used to type emails, right? That will take 5 minutes, and now they are all automatically generated for you within seconds. That's the saving you are getting. And if you are compounded and accumulated, that's where you have more efficient work. Yep. So I think that's probably those things I'm talking about than producing products that is totally generated by AI. That will be a probably separate topic then. Okay. Sankita wrote there, how does adoption of AI by SME will affect consumer? Oh, I think I need more context because consumer welfare, I would say if you use AI the right way and not use AI to, let it deal with things without you caring about the quality, could improve customer satisfaction, help you to be more aware of what's happening with the products, and in return you can respond to customer even before they say something, right? That will really change that you are ahead of your competitors. And sometimes competitions are still good. Ahead doesn't mean you must be better, but at least everyone is working efficiently. That's still equally good. I would say without this, you will definitely be out of business very soon, because people who are using it are already way ahead of us, right? Like today, if I teach without using AI to help us, or students don't use it to learn faster, to learn more, they already learn less than people who use AI. And if they learn less, when they go out, they are less knowledgeable, right? we're looking at people using it the right way. Is something that you can still say is not good and therefore don't use it, but you end up losing, right? My disclaimer is we are not talking about using AI in an unethical way to cheat, right? To plagiarize. Those are not the things I'm talking about. But, are we still manually, trying to key in things ourselves instead of using AI to understand documents, to import the data for us? It's all about efficiency here. Yeah. So I hope that helps to answer some of the questions about, how to improve. A lot to do with efficiency, improving workflow, cutting down redundancy and mundane jobs so that humans feel more human doing it with the help of AI and automation and digital technology. I think that's how I would like to kind of summarize it.
Thank you, Professor. So it is nice to have your session once again. It's systematic at the university. So I can't find any more questions in my chat box, and I hope it's same for you too. So thank you once again. So by thanking you, and I'm requesting all the participants to give your attendance in the shared Google form. So kindly give your attendance, and thank you, Professor. Looking for more collaborative work together in the coming future. Thank you for the wonderful session, and very informative it was and elaborated also. So I'm requesting all the participants once again to give your attendance. So we will meet together tomorrow for our next session. For the time being, have a good day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for attending. Thank you.